Welcome to Impact Farming, where we introduce you to the people and ideas that will have a massive impact on your farming operation. Brought to you by Farm Marketer. Sit down, start the engine, and let's roll with today's show.
Are you getting the best offer for your grain? CXN 360 connects sellers with qualified buyers securely, efficiently, profitably, and best of all, commission-free. You control every aspect of every transaction, from sending target prices to multiple buyers, to reviewing bids and executing real binding contracts. Sign up and start selling with your free membership today. Welcome to CXN 360.
Hello everybody, and welcome to the Impact Farming Show. I am so excited to have you guys back for another episode. It is going to be phenomenal. I have a very special guest here, Louise Sanders, and she is a speaker, a trainer, and a stress consultant. Welcome.
Thank you, Tracy.
I am so excited to have you here. This is some of my most favorite material in life, so welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So, I would like to just share a quick note. As I mentioned to you, and as our audience knows, we have literally taken the month of November on the Impact Farming Show and dedicated it to mental health. 2019 has been one heck of a year for farmers, and for some of them, that's off the back of previous hard years. And this one especially has been just challenging, whether it's been dry, whether it's been too wet, whether it's been dry then wet or snow, just unbelievable. So we did the focus of mental health in November, and into December we're doing the trailing end of it into more mental learning and stress.
Nice.
And that's why I have you here. Louise is with the stress experts. So we have the gal here. I would like you to just tell us a little bit more about you. I love learning about people, what they do, why they started. So can you just tell us about your background a little bit and yeah, all that good stuff.
Sure, yes. I started, I grew up on a farm in southwestern Manitoba in the just outside the small town of Altamont. I knew when I was in grade 8 that I wanted to help people. And I was actually massaging my sister after moving chickens.
That's hard work.
A hard day
I've
of
done
moving
that.
chickens. I was giving her a massage, and I was in grade 9, and she's like, so what do you want to do for the rest of your life? I'm like, I don't know. She's like, well, you like massage? I'm like, yeah. She says, well, you could be a physical therapist. I'm like, sure. So from grade 9, I knew I wanted to help people, and I decided I would go into physical therapy right out of high school. So I did that. I graduated University of Manitoba Physical Therapy in 2009, and I worked in private practice for 4 years.
Okay.
And I started my own practice.
Oh, excellent.
In 2013. So 4 years as a physical therapist, my career transitioned because I wasn't quite happy with the results that I was getting as a physical therapist.
Okay.
I could see that, getting my hands on someone, I could, feel what's going wrong with them, and see the results of what I was offering as a physical therapist, but it was like a Band-Aid. So it wasn't actually getting to the root cause of anything.
Okay.
So it started me on this journey of finding out what is actually going on. Like why are people so tight and sore joints and arthritis, and what's actually happening, and how can I help them more? So it started me on this journey. So I started into alternative medicine, complementary energy medicine, and I did that for 4 years.
Okay.
And though these two, conventional medicine and physical therapy and alternative medicine, energy medicine, they don't really see eye to eye on,
a lot of stuff.
Or anything.
Yeah.
But there is one thing they agree on, is that stress is a major contributing factor to any illness, disease, condition, imbalance. Pretty much all of our problems comes down to stress. So it made me do more research and more looking into what is stress, and why are we not actually looking at stress? If it's the number one contributing factor, why are we not addressing it?
You're right.
Right? Makes sense. And we all know that. It's like, oh, I'm stressed and that's why I'm tight. Or I'm stressed, that's why I have a sore stomach. Or I'm stressed, that's why I have a headache. Well, how about we address the root cause and address the stress.
You're so smart.
I know, I'm amazing.
You are. Why I have you on the show. Yeah.
So I went into looking further into it because I knew alternative medicine wasn't it either. Okay. Like energy medicine wasn't cutting it for me. So I found HeartMath actually from it's the Institute of HeartMath down in California that really put the pieces together for me. And they have over 27 years of research in resilience, stress, emotional regulation, and optimal performance.
Oh, wow.
And their research, like I geek out on the science of everything that I do. So I usually overteach in the science because I love it so much because it's not woo-woo. It's like, it's real stuff.
Okay.
So you can really change your physiology and change the stress that's going on in your body. So now I help people get to the root cause of their problem by helping them conquer stress.
I love that. I am all about, if there's a problem, get right down there, right? Let's not put the Band-Aid on.
Yeah, and let's not waste time and energy like trying to cover it up. Let's get to the root and actually deal with it.
And it's so funny you said that. Go a little to the left here, as the best podcasts do. But I remember going to my massage therapist and she said, Tracy, wow, that's quite the knot. Are you extra stressed out right now? So exactly what you just said totally hits home, right?
Yeah, and so many, we all know it, but we just think we have to like live with stress and then we just have to cope with it.
So I'm excited to hear more here.
Yeah.
So let's take it from the top.
Okay.
And I want you to tell me about stress.
Okay. Stress is an interesting topic because it's very, in our day and age, in our culture, we say that everything is stress. That's stressful. I'm stressed. You're stressed. The situation is stress. I'm like, it's just there's no clarity around what actually stress is.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah. So stress, in one word, is disharmony.
Okay.
When we talk about personal stress, we're talking about disharmony on the inside. So it's a physiological response to what's going on the external world.
Okay.
So disharmony happens between the nervous system, the immune system, the muscles, the hormones, your breath. Everything changes because of our emotions, really. And that's where stress is disharmony within the body.
That makes sense.
Right?
Yes. Pretty straightforward.
And when you just see, like every time you hear the word stress, it's disharmony. And it's an internal response.
It is.
To an external situation.
Very good. I like that. And I just think here, I know our audience out there, and I don't want to pick on you guys. We have a lot of men in the audience and a lot of women, and some of the men I know too go, oh boy, this is so woo-woo. But it honestly is not. No. You know what? This is... the smartest minds are starting to realize that what's going on in the body is driven by our internal state, right? Our thoughts, and it's all connected. And that might be new information for people. So hang in there with us, guys. I think that Louise has some great stuff. And even just with that, recognizing that it's disharmony in the body, which it is, right?
Yes, definitely. The disharmony, what's interesting, and we may get into it a little later, but the disharmony actually comes from emotions.
That's what I was going to ask you. The connection between our emotions and stress.
Yes. So as much as thoughts play a role in our stress, there's nothing that plays a bigger role than our emotions.
Okay.
So our emotions are the primary driver of our physiology. And that is amazing for me because as a physical therapist, if I wanted to change my physiology in any way, well, pretty much I was told that your heart rate goes up and your body shifts and changes because you exercise. You know, if you go for a run, your heart rate increases, you may, get the serotonin and all the hormone and stuff like that. But that physical activity doesn't do nearly as much as your emotions.
I am so into this. Continue on.
And we all know this because you can sit in this chair and feel like, let's say I'm sitting in this chair right now and I feel angry.
Yes.
Or nervous.
Yes.
Right? That's going to change what's going on the inside. It's going to increase my heart rate. It's going to change the way my digestive system works. But I'm not doing anything but sitting here.
Right.
But my heart rate increased.
So that's your emotions.
Our emotions are driving our physiology. It is the primary driver of our physiology.
You feel an emotion, you get angry. If you're nervous.
Well, in the nervousness and the anger are your emotions.
Oh, right.
It's your emotions driving your physiology. When your physiology becomes out of harmony, that's stress.
Interesting.
So we can choose what emotion we experience.
That's a gold nugget right there.
It's a gold nugget. You can choose the emotion you experience.
How can we choose our emotions?
Yes, we can.
Honestly.
Yes, and it's hard because so many of us think that it's, we have to react to our life.
Yeah.
So when something happens, we have to react. And that reaction is actually just a program that we continually run. There's hail, for example, on your crop.
Oh, don't say that.
Don't say the word.
You're triggering some farmers out there.
Right? So exactly. So hail happens and then the automatic response is depression or anger or frustration or overwhelm. That's a triggered response. But you don't need to have that response.
Okay.
That anger is not going to change the hail.
Yeah.
It's hailed out. I'm not saying you have to be like, wahoo, it hailed.
Right.
And that's not reasonable. And that's not what's needed. You just have to look at it in a way that's like, okay, what's my next step?
So our emotions, let me stop there to make sure, our emotions cause stress.
Correct.
So, okay, here's an example. And I don't know if you've ever had this happen or you guys have ever had this happen. Let's say I'm just in this room, I'm peacefully reading a book, and then all of a sudden I think about something. I think about something that gets me mad, and I get angry, and then now I get stressed out. That was all my emotions causing that stress.
Correct.
If I didn't allow myself to have that emotional response, I wouldn't be stressed out at the moment.
Correct.
I'd be reading my book peacefully, wouldn't I?
Correct. Yeah. So the thoughts do, in a certain way, trigger the emotion, but you have the ultimate control over that emotion.
Yes.
So we kind of use the analogy like, if something happens in your life, an emotion knocks on the door.
Absolutely. Sometimes more than others.
Sometimes it barges
all
in.
day long.
Sometimes that emotion just barges in.
Yeah.
Right? So you have really two choice points. One, when the emotion knocks on the door, you have the option to let it in to your internal house or not.
Yeah.
But if that emotion barges in, so now here's your second choice, how long does that emotion get to stay?
Right.
Right? Because it's ultimately your choice. And it doesn't feel like that because that's the pattern we've been running. It's like it's not my choice that I'm angry because my farm isn't making it.
Yeah.
Or that succession planning isn't working out. It's not my choice that I feel angry. Well, it might not be your choice that the anger bursted in, but it's your choice you're still holding on to it.
I get it. And even, can I go to a day-to-day example?
For sure.
The good old combine and the grain cart driver. The combine driver is always waiting on the grain cart driver, and let's say they're taking it a little bit too long, right? We see the clouds coming, there's snow or rain coming, whatever the case. Snow. Can we believe that we're saying that?
It happened October.
Yeah, it's reality. But we're stressed out. We're busy. We're sitting there. Whoever that grain cart driver might be, we think they're taking too much time, whatever the case is. We start to get angry and then we get stressed out, right? Mm-hmm. So we really just allowed that to happen.
Yes.
Instead of going, okay, well, the grain cart driver's taking a little bit too long, but maybe I'll use that as a moment to check in on Egg Twitter. Or you can change, pick a different
What's
choice,
interesting, I'm just going to stop you there because I really like what you said. You take a moment and instead of checking Twitter, check what's going on inside.
Okay.
Check your internal weather.
Okay. Even better. Egg Twitter might make you a little more anxious.
Yes. So instead of checking the external weather on your phone and be like, those clouds are going to be here in an hour, check your internal weather report.
Okay.
And be like, are the storm clouds here now? because you can't control that storm, but you can control the inner storm.
Right.
And the more you can control your inner storm, the more effective you're going to be in your day.
Well, and really, yeah, you're right. Just check in. Okay, yes, they're taking longer. Do I need to get mad about this? No, I have enough on my brain.
Will the anger help?
No, it won't make them go faster.
It won't make them go faster. It's going to wreck your relationships. It's going to drain your inner battery energy. It's going to drain your resilience. Is another huge topic that we talk about, is your inner battery, your resilience. So the less charge you have in your inner battery, the less able you are to regulate your thoughts, your emotions, and your behavior. So every time you feel an angry emotion or what we call a depleting emotion, it drains your inner battery. And now you'll have less ability to regulate how you think, feel, and act.
And you know, I love this conversation. I think it's a little bit new for many people. But what I love about it and this concept is because farmers, we already have so many stressors in our life naturally, right? There's so many things that we can't control that do take a toll on our mind and bodies, right?
Yes.
Why allow ourselves those frivolous emotions?
Yeah. Well, and I always say
that drain.
Yes,
right?
exactly. And I always say, like, well, I'll speak for myself. I'm a control freak. And I don't know about you guys.
What is that? I'm looking away a little guilty here.
But I'm a control freak, and it's so interesting that I give my control away every time I say that makes me angry, or that weather makes me angry, that hail on my crop makes me angry, because the only thing I have control on, and the only thing you have control on, is your emotional response.
Totally.
So the only thing I have control on, and I'm a control freak, is my emotional response, and I give it away to someone or something every time I lose my shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Bleep that out, guys.
Sorry.
I'm just joking. We're not PG here. So that's exactly it. Okay, so let's go back there again, because again, I know many farmers. I farm with Anthony, but I also have my own business. So any business that you're in, there's a lot coming at you. So I have a situation that I'm dealing with. I am starting to get angry. Okay, I can let that go onwards and start to get stressed out. Or what should I do? Just pause and then go in, right?
Right. So I just want to clarify something. The fact that you are angry, you're stressed.
Okay. Okay.
Stress is an umbrella term for all of those negative emotions that drain your inner battery.
This is going to be a long episode. And a Tracy consultation.
Might have to do part 2.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Okay.
So anytime you feel a draining emotion, anger.
Okay.
Anger, fear, embarrassment, lack of confidence, nervousness, irritation, all of those emotions that we say, depression, anxiety, all of those emotions we say that don't feel good and that we don't want, when you feel them, you're stressed. Because stress is an umbrella term that pretty much covers no, it's not really an umbrella term. It's the term used to describe the disharmony inside that happens because of experiencing a whole gamut of depleting emotions.
Oh, that makes sense.
So stress is an internal response because we experience a depleting emotion.
Okay, thank you. You got me straight there.
That makes sense?
Yes.
Okay, so go back to your question.
What was it? No, I'm just joking. So I'm in a situation, let's say at work, and something was supposed to be handled a certain way with a client. Or on the farm, something was supposed to be handled a certain way on the farm.
Right.
I'm starting to feel those feelings on the inside, and that could easily go to worry, anger.
Yes, frustration, overwhelm,
all of those.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm starting to feel that, and we know it's not helpful right about that point.
Right.
We can choose differently.
Yes. And it's not, and this is, yes, you can choose to feel different. And it's not about just pasting a happy face sticker on your emotions or repressing them or pushing them down, being like, well, Louise told me I shouldn't feel angry, so I'm just gonna not feel it. It's about transforming the emotion.
Okay.
So it's choosing to not engage in anger.
Okay.
And it's not to lie to yourself and be like, I'm not angry. Your body knows you're lying to it.
Right. And I'm feeling a little tense.
Exactly.
I'm getting a little, whatever the case is.
So what we do is we teach the tools to help actually transform that emotion. So to bring more harmony internally.
So regulating our emotions?
Regulating emotions.
Oh, do tell. Do tell. I'm excited about this.
Well, I'll try not to go into like a whole science. Like I said, I geek out on the whole science thing, but we can regulate our emotions and cause a harmony inside.
Okay.
So choosing a renewing emotion like appreciation or care or a sense of accomplishment or I got this attitude.
Okay.
And the more we practice that, the easier it gets.
Okay.
But we can practice more harmony inside because it actually only makes sense to feel a more renewing emotion than a depleting emotion.
It does.
A depleting emotion gets you nothing.
Maybe we're addicted to those.
Exactly. We are. We literally are
and habit.
Addicted.
It's habit.
Yes.
Okay, so let me go there. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I'm in the combine and I'm waiting for the grain cart driver and I'm getting mad. We're in a crunch. And I'm starting to spiral, really getting mad because they don't need to take that long. We got to rock and roll. So you're saying I need to feel appreciation that maybe last time they were quicker? Where do you go?
That's a
Where
good
do you go?
A sense of compassion.
Okay.
Either for yourself or for everyone that's working with you. A sense of appreciation that you have someone driving that grain cart and you don't have to go to it.
Oh. True, because I might have to hop out of the combine and go do the grain cart.
That's right.
And waste even more time.
Waste even more time. So the appreciation that the grain cart's actually coming.
Okay.
Once you have that appreciation and a sense of calmness on the inside, maybe then you can be more effective in like radioing him and saying like, what happened?
Huh.
Instead of getting upset like, man, you're taking forever. Like that didn't get you anything.
Ooh, I like that because, well, I've worked with many farmers and I have seen the status quo, well, back in the day where they got on the CB radio and they were pretty much yelling, like, where are you, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't really help because it makes everybody tense, angry, bitter, resentful.
And all it did was drive a wedge in your relationship. Now,
absolutely.
Like, who actually wants to work with someone that causes strife? Right? But if you're in that combine, you're waiting for the grain cart to come, if you can get a sense of your internal weather, calm the inner storm by breathing appreciation or by practicing calmness or ease, there's a whole gamut of positive emotions that you can experience instead of anger and overwhelm, frustration at that moment.
Yeah.
Get a sense of the bigger picture. Like we're all doing our best here.
Yes.
And if we're not, then you do your best so that you can ask them, how can we make this faster?
Yeah.
If you get on the radio and be upset and be like, no, you suck and you gotta go faster, chances are they don't want to, or they already are going as fast as you can, you won't solve the problem.
I like it. And especially, I'm gonna go here, but a lot of the time we're farming with family.
Oh.
And there's, as we know, family, right? There's already years and years of family dynamic behind every single interaction. I'm going a little bit deep here, but every single day that you farm with family, there's always the history there. And there's a bit of okayness in expressing anger sometimes and emotions on the farm that wouldn't be okay, for example, in my business, right? Because it's family.
Right, we take it for granted.
We take it for granted, just like being at home versus the office. So there's that too, right?
Yeah, and I just want to clarify, just something clicked in here, that I want to just make sure that you know that negative emotions are not bad.
No.
They are okay to have. You actually need them. They add color and texture to your life. But again, you choose how long they stay.
Right.
So you choose how long positive emotions stay and you choose how long negative emotions stay.
I love it because you know what? A simple choice in that moment, and heck, I'll throw myself under.
I'll join you under the bus.
On this one because we're all busy. We want stuff done. There's stress, right?
Yes.
But in that moment, instead of being so wrapped up in where are they? Why are they taking so long? They always do this. Whatever our narrative is in our mind, we can look out that lovely cab of the combine and look at that crop, look at that sky. Hopefully it's not cloudy and snowy. But you can just easily take that moment and go, wow, I'm gonna go there. I was outside fixing my horse's fence one day. And of course, I had got home from the office, a full day there, commuted home. This is sounding like a whining session, but it's not. Actually, it was at that moment. And I get home, of course, you cook, you clean, you get out, I gotta fix the fence. I was a little bit resentful because I had so much to do. And I was out there. I sure as heck was not enjoying my horse. All of a sudden, I looked up, kind of to the right, pulled my head up, looked across the field, the most stunning blue sky with my green pasture and my cows there and my horse right beside me. And I just literally let the air out of my lungs. My shoulders dropped. I said, wow, I could have been enjoying this the whole time, but I was angry and rushed.
Yeah.
Instead of appreciating this moment. And at the end of the day, I think all of us farmers, we love what we do.
We love what we do.
Like, look around. The landscape, the piece of earth that we own is so gorgeous. And how often do we take it for granted because we're rushing and we're angry and whatever the case is. Anyways, I digress.
I totally agree with you. And we forget to look at the bigger picture and why we're in it in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, come back to your sense of purpose and your why. Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And I give you permission. If you don't like what you do, don't do it.
Right.
Right? There's so many of farmers that feel that they're stuck because, well, it's been in the family farm is forever. Well, the only reason you're holding on to it is because you think you have to.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
So look at, why are you doing it? Do you actually love it, or is there different options?
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And so many of us get stuck, especially farmers, because there's the whole succession planning, right? But you got to look at it. Like, if you love it, then love it.
Yeah.
If you don't, then you got to find a way around it.
Absolutely.
Or connect back to why you were wanting it in the first place.
Right. Appreciation.
Loving that you get to tend the soil or feed the world. Like, I don't know if farmers have forgotten that you feed the world. So I appreciate you. I'm no longer a farmer, but I appreciate farmers. And I think farmers have to appreciate themselves more.
Yeah. And I think too, when you were talking about that, I just went back to that moment I had. And I'm not perfect. I do that. I continue to do that every single day because we're busy. We live a hectic lives. We have iPhones. We're so connected. We do not choose to have peace, but it's just a rush when at that moment, instead of being mad at the grain cart driver, I could have just looked out, took a deep breath, and then waited. And you're right, even if I had to call them to see what was going on, I'm probably going to be a lot calmer, and I'm probably not going to add friction to that relationship.
Exactly.
That wouldn't have helped anyways.
Exactly. And what's interesting is being in that combine, because I've done both jobs. I've done combine and grain cart.
Okay.
So I know, I know both scenarios. But if you're sitting in the combine and you're waiting for the grain cart, it's and you want that grain cart to come around as fast as it can. But so you want that grain cart operator to be the best version of themselves. You want them to be most efficient. You want to be paying attention to all the other combines in the field if you got more than one, or like, where's the track, the combine, where's the truck, and how full am I? Am I going to be able to unload you on this round? Or, that you want the person in the grain cart to have that awareness and to be their best self, right?
Absolutely.
But being in the combine, you have to be your best self too.
Right.
Right? So as much as like, oh, where are you? What's taking you so long? You want them to be their best self. You have to be your best self.
You're so right. And I mean, I don't mean to beat this one to death, but it's just a prime example. And it's an example for a bigger theory here. But if we're causing tension in others, they're going to get nervous. and flustered. And you're right, they're probably going to be worried that they're messing up, and they're not going to be able to focus. And really, if they were calm, they'd be scanning the field and seeing
and they'll be more effective.
They'll be more effective, and they might have been quicker because they weren't off their game,
right,
so to speak, right?
And then, like what you said, if you're stressed, we'll go to our iPhone, we'll go to distraction. Well, now you're stressing out the grain cart operator, so they're going to go to a distraction, or, you know, so you're not, it's just this downward spiral.
Okay, so essentially everything that we've been talking about, those examples, we've really been talking, I'm going to name it. Is it just regulating our emotions? That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, it really is. Regulating our emotions is then regulating what's going on physiologically inside of us.
Okay.
So when we choose to experience a renewing emotion, we actually choose to experience what they call scientifically coherence.
Okay.
It's psychophysiological coherence.
Okay.
Meaning that your mind is connected with your body. So your body, mind, and spirit are all connected.
Okay, go ahead.
So when we choose to feel a renewing emotion, we align all of our woo-woo energies and our real energies. Like our electromagnetic frequencies and our heart rhythm, our blood pressure, every cell that's vibrating in our body. When we choose to experience a renewing emotion, we align all of those very measurable energies.
Okay. When
we can experience a renewing emotion, we actually improve the way our thinking happens. So there's a part of the brain that gets really affected by stress or disharmony that's happening.
Okay.
This part of the brain is called the thalamus. It actually synchronizes brain activity. So when we are feeling stressed, so any negative depleting emotion, even depression, anxiety, fear, overwhelm, all of those depleting emotions, it causes disharmony within our system.
Absolutely.
And our brain picks up on that, right?
Okay.
It feels, it senses that there's actual transmission of information to our brain. Now, this thalamus is responsible for synchronizing the brain activity. Well, if we're feeling negative, the signals going to this brain center, the thalamus, causes it to become chaotic, and it can't synchronize brain activity. So that's why when you feel anxious or overwhelmed or frustrated or angry, you may say things you don't mean or do things you later regret. And you kind of wonder, like, where was my brain? Why did I do that?
Absolutely.
Or why did I say that? I didn't mean that. Or now I have to apologize, and like, that wasn't me. That's because when we are feeling those depleting emotions, our brain literally goes offline. There's like disharmony in our brain, so we can't think clearly.
Well, and I'm going to hop in there really quick, and I throw myself under the bus all the time on the show. Oh boy, what they must think of Tracy Burnett.
They know the true you now.
They know the true me. Just tune in. But and all good fun. I mean, we're all humans. We're all very much the same. And the stuff that goes through our heads, sometimes we worry that it's just us that thinks or feels that. And that's one of the reasons I started these shows, because we all have the same concerns and worries to different levels. And that's why I like to just own it. But I'm thinking of a time in my business where we were really, really growing, rapidly growing, hiring a lot of people, training a lot of people, building, expanding. A lot of stress and some HR issues in there as well. So those I always find, the people, right? The people end of it, it was just, I almost want to call it like this tornado. It was good, and then there was some crazy stuff in there. And then when it all calmed down, and I like to pride myself being a rational person that takes time to think it out, and I did. But when it all calmed down and it was done, and you think about different things, you go, what was I thinking there? And I think that's a prime example of what you were saying. There was disharmony in my body, and when you said that it interrupts the way your brain works, I could totally see that.
Yeah.
Because looking back, I go, why? How? Right?
And it can be a long-standing situation, like trying to figure out HR and working with other people, so it's like days, or it can be in a short period of time.
True.
You know, like going back to the combine, sorry to beat this example to death, but I think it's excellent. But going back to the combine operator, if he's feeling angry or she's feeling angry or upset like that the grain cart's not coming, you're going to pick up the radio and ream that person out.
Yes.
Right? You didn't have to do that.
That was not a good
That was
decision.
not a good decision. Our decision making gets compromised when we are feeling stressed. So either long-term, like succession planning, long-term decision making, or short-term, like what do I say to this person? How should I respond?
Very interesting. I love this. And I just think this stuff is so important, these ideas, because at the end of the day, the farm, like I said, usually family farm, but it's people. Life is about relationships and working with people and learning these things about the way we think and the choices of our emotions. My goodness, how many things could we have not said exactly like you mentioned earlier?
And
had we
saved
just
so much.
and saved some
Energy, money.
yeah, relationships. Yeah, totally. So I just think it's really cool because honestly, I just love for people to be happy and doing what they love. And I think a big part of that is just knowing how to work with ourselves and in turn work with others, right? Okay, so I'll go to the combine. We love the combine here. So I listen to a lot of podcasts,
Right.
Business, development, about the brain. They're always talking about zenning out and like meditating, and I wish I was there, but anybody that knows me knows I'm not really that peaceful or zen type of person. So when we're telling farmers to relax, is that really the answer? Is that possible?
Relaxation is an important skill, and it's an important skill to have and to hone, but it's not necessarily the answer to stress.
Okay.
Stress is disharmony in the body.
Right.
When you're feeling relaxed doesn't mean there's harmony in the body.
Okay.
For example, if after a long day of work and it's in the summer and it's nice outside and the sun sets at like 10, you're sitting on your deck at 9:30 watching the sun go down, and you're drinking iced tea and your heart rate is low. That's relaxed.
Okay.
Right? But you're feeling anxious about tomorrow, or you're feeling depressed because today didn't go as well as you wanted it to, or you're beating yourself up, you're still feeling stressed.
Oh.
That's disharmony.
That's not relaxed.
That is relaxed.
Is that
because your
relaxed?
heart rate is low.
Okay.
But you still have disharmony on the inside.
Oh.
So you have to, that's not getting you anything.
Okay.
So you're still not conquering stress. You're just slowing down your heart rate.
Okay.
Right?
Interesting.
Right?
Yes.
So zenning out and becoming relaxed and having a bubble bath is great, but the whole goal of it is to change your emotion. So let's use the same example. Going on your deck and the sun is setting, it's 9:30, you're drinking your iced tea, your heart rate is low, and you're thinking about and you're feeling appreciation for the work you've done, for the trees that are growing, for the crop that's planted, for the air you breathe, just general appreciation or gratitude or a sense of accomplishment. All of that creates harmony within your system. So now you're relaxed and conquering stress.
Okay.
But that being said, you don't have to be relaxed to conquer stress. You can feel excited and rejuvenated and exuberant. You can have high energy and still conquer stress because it's not disharmony.
That seems so counterintuitive.
Because this is where the confusion is, because people think when you're stressed, it means your heart rate's high.
Yes.
No. If there's disharmony, that's what stress is. So you can have a high heart rate, you can be excited, you can be exuberant, you can be full of gratitude and welcoming to people that come on your yard and all of that. You can be like high on life. That doesn't mean you're stressed. Your heart rate's gonna be up.
Oh.
But you're not stressed, you're conquering it right there in that moment, feeling exuberant and excited.
I like it.
So you don't have to be zenned out to conquer stress. You just have to feel a renewing emotion.
Huh.
Because when you feel a renewing emotion, an emotion that feels good, and you know those emotions, you know that feeling, that's when you're conquering stress.
I love it.
So you don't have to zen out. It's not about relaxation. It's an important skill, but it's not the answer to
That
stress.
is the disconnect right there. See,
It
because
is.
times I've tried to relax, but I still have disharmony in my body.
Yeah.
I'm still worried and stressed, but I'm relaxing.
That's right.
And then I go, well, practice
Something's
what I
still
preach.
not- yeah.
It's not working. Relaxing doesn't work for me. It's just because I have disharmony. I just really, instead of sitting there being anxious about this or that or what I gotta do, I need to go to those better emotions.
Yeah.
Appreciation's that quick one, right?
For some people.
Okay.
Some people can find it hard to find appreciation, but we also need to be
True.
appreciative about. And
I'm
that's
alive.
why- Yes.
I'm alive.
I have
I'm
air to
healthy.
breathe.
Yeah.
I live on this farm. Right?
sounds so
connect
woo-woo,
back to
but-
connect back
Yeah.
to why you're here.
And I want to jump in there too, because this is important whether you're a male or female, and I got to stress that sometimes I think some of us are easier to adapt to these ideas, but at the end of the day, really basic, correct me if I'm wrong, we know these emotions, because when we're feeling the bad emotions, we know what that feels like on the inside.
Yeah.
We feel tense, that fight or flight, nervous, angry, whatever it is.
Or we know there's something wrong.
There's something wrong. We're off.
Yeah.
And then we can feel it in different parts of our body. But really quick, for comparison, have you ever had one of those moments, just like I said, where you're driving out to the field, you're in the field, you see your children in the combine doing what you love doing, and I'm feeling it actually right now, you get that appreciation, that good feeling.
Yes.
I'm in harmony when I'm feeling that, right?
That's right. So it's interesting. I love what you just said. Like, I'm feeling it right now. So the
felt
situation
it.
has not changed. You and I
Nope.
are still talking. All you did is you grabbed onto that emotion and you brought it back to now. Right there, what you did is one of the skills of emotional regulation.
Oh, I think I need to hire you. That's awesome.
So it doesn't matter what situation you're in, what the stressors you're facing, you choose your emotion. So it's not about going to your happy place and like, okay, Louise, I'm just gonna like zen out here and go and leave to my happy place. You can bring that emotion of appreciation right now.
Nice.
It doesn't mean you have to appreciate something in front of you.
Anything.
Just anything, just to feel appreciation, because that emotion is there.
Yeah.
You can conjure it when you want to. It's within your power.
I love it.
And I just want to, like, you brought up something that it's been like, nagging on me, and I want to mention it, is that there's a lot of people, and I know it's stereotypical men, but there's women too that don't want to admit that they have emotions, or they'd say, well, I can't feel it, or not me, or
Yes.
I'm not emotional. Truth is, everyone's emotional.
Absolutely.
Everyone has emotions. And the truth is, we are experiencing emotions all the time. We can't shut off our emotions.
That's being a human, I think.
It is being human.
Yeah.
And having emotions is the reason things have meaning and that you have relationships. It gives color and texture to our life. And so for the people that are like, well, I don't really want to talk about emotions, you've got them. And the cool thing is they're measurable. Mm-hmm. So it's not if you have them or you don't, we can measure them, you have them.
Love it. Okay, so that is so amazing. I think you've just shared so much great information. To kind of piece it all together, let's talk one final time about the link between stress, emotions, and mental health, because as I mentioned, that's the topic that we're on and leaving on the show. And I just want to end with that note and how stress, emotions affect our mental health.
So people may say that they have a mental health issue, but actually most people have an emotional health issue.
Okay.
So our mental health issues, you can get diagnosed with depression and anxiety. Those are emotions. Mm-hmm. Those are classified mental health issues, but they're emotions.
Okay.
So it's when our emotions of depression go out of control that you'll be diagnosed with a mental health issue of depression.
Okay.
But all you need is emotional regulation. And I know people are going to be like, well, no, it's real. I can measure it in my hormones that there's a change in my... Yes, but guess what gets regulated? What's regulating your emotion, your hormones is your nervous system. And what's causing it to go into disruption? Your anxiety or your depression. So it's not the mental health issue that's making you stressed. It's actually your emotion that's making you stressed to be diagnosed with that anxiety, depression. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's really, the mental health issues comes down to emotional regulation issues.
Right.
That we don't have the skills. Some people do. Some of this is like, some people are life naturals. They just like water off a duck's back and they just keep persevering and they're happy and they're just like truly happy, not just on the outside, but like they feel happy on the inside. That is an emotionally and mentally healthy person.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
So for the people that feel that they're anxious on the inside, but they're happy on the outside, right?
Yes.
That's not an emotionally or mentally healthy person.
Right. Absolutely. And I think there's a scale too. I want to be careful, and I'm always careful on the show here that we don't give medical advice.
For sure.
And talk to your doctor. I almost sound like a drug commercial right now, but I have to do my disclaimer. The lawyer said so.
Oh, yes.
But there's a sliding scale here, and this is great information. We have mental health on a very wide scope, from super happy to severe mental health conditions. And we're talking about over here, and of course people have diagnosed issues, and we're not talking about that. We're talking more the mental health that can be controlled by emotions.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted, I could feel the people in the audience yelling at me. I could feel it. So I just wanted to state that, and it is important too.
Yeah.
We're not saying go off your meds,
absolutely
any of
not.
that.
No.
I want to be careful because that is a touchy subject too.
Yeah, definitely don't go off your medication. But I'm just saying, you can stay on your medication, but learn emotional regulation skills.
Yes.
Because that's how it's a really big step in conquering the anxiety and depression.
Love it. I love
diagnosed or not diagnosed.
Right. You're so right. I just had to put
yes,
a disclaimer
please.
in there.
Thank you for putting that in there.
Okay, so that is all amazing. I love this interview. I think there's so much wisdom in there that farmers are either going to go, yeah, that makes sense, or I've never thought of it that way. But if we really take away the judgment of, maybe some of us might think that's a little woo-woo, take that away, really go into yourself, go back in your memory, or the next time you're feeling something and you feel those negative emotions, you're going to feel it in there.
You're feeling it right now if you're doubting it.
Right. Exactly.
That's an emotion.
Okay, there you go. So we know the difference, and we can choose what we feel. So I love that concept, because like I said, I'm bringing this back around. We have enough outside variables that are gonna bring effects into us, that if we learn these emotional regulation skills, we can help ourselves out a whole lot.
Yeah.
Farmers, business owners, people, mums, dads.
Definitely.
That's all. And working and dealing with other people is a big part of that, right?
Yeah, and that's what really fills us up, is our relationships.
Yeah.
So yeah, we really work on relationships in the Stress Experts. Like that's a primary, like when we lay our head on the pillow, it's our relationships that matter.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I love it. So we spoke about you and your background a little bit and how you ended up with your business, Stress Experts. Can you tell me a little bit more about what you guys do?
Right. So we call ourselves the Stress Experts not because we think we're better than other people. Like that, we don't have our poop in a group all the time.
Well, you're pretty smart. I must admit that. Yeah.
But don't let that fool you. I have my own stress. I have my own negative, depleting emotions to wrestle with, and I'm human.
But right? You know the tools.
I have the tools, and that's the whole purpose of our business. Is we call ourselves the Stress Experts because it's our goal, our mission, to help you become your own stress expert.
Excellent.
Which means that you have the tools, the skills, and the know-how to stop stressing.
I love it.
You can tell when you're off track, when you're feeling not yourself, when you're feeling not your best. You can tell that and get back on. That's a stress expert.
Ooh.
A stress expert is someone that chooses to be the best version of themselves in every moment.
I love it. That is great.
Yeah.
So if people are at home, first off, how can they find out more about you?
We have a website. It's called thestressexperts.com. And on there, we've got some free resources.
Excellent.
So at the top of our website, just click on free resources and you can sign up for our blog. We have a blog, we call it a blog. It's like insights. It's kind of like whatever's on our mind that we're learning.
Good stuff.
That goes out every week.
Excellent. And if anybody's interested, which I know they will be, I will be too, and they want to, learn more about, they can go to the website. But if they want to work with you guys, do you do consultations?
Yes, we do. Typically, I do group training personally, but I still do one-on-one coaching. But my sister and my colleague Elaine, she has a background in nursing. We've gone on this journey together.
Oh, neat.
So we both are trained in heart math. We both know like all the stuff. We share all of this together. So she does most of the one-on-one coaching, but I do too. I do some of it too. So either we meet in person or we also do virtual. Okay. So over Zoom or Skype or FaceTime or something, so we can see each other and still have a conversation and give you the skills and the tools to conquer stress.
I love it. This has been fantastic.
Thank you.
So on behalf of our audience, on behalf of the show and myself, I want to thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you very much. I really enjoyed this.
It's been great. I don't want it to end, but we have to. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this as much as I did. Thank you. And I will see you guys all on next week's episode of the Impact Farming Show. Bye, guys.
See you.
You've been listening to Impact Farming. For more great episodes and articles designed to help you manage and grow your farming operation, head on over to farmmarketer.com. Don't forget to sign up while you're there. We will see you on the next episode.